Okay, welcome back. I decided to zoom out for once. I usually zoom in a lot, but now I'm going to zoom out to see where we're at and how close we are to being done. Working on our grid. We got a lot of different grid elements going on in our mockup. Scroll down. We've got our joiner mailing list, RSS feed. All we need now is the footer. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go in and add that last section. So let's take a look at our HTML to see what we've done so far. Now I'll zoom back in. So this is the actual grid system. We have headers along the top. Then we have a nav bar separate from the header. And then we have our wrapper. And inside the wrapper, we have a grid system here that uses our 3 columns evenly spaced. Inside the third column are 2 divs that each will, on certain sizes, on a large size, will take up that column, but on smaller sizes will actually display side by side. Very handy little technique there. And then we have our last wrapper before the footer, the div of the class of row, like so. And one of the things I noticed is adding these wrapper and page is kind of nice to give us the width. So we're going to stick our embed inside of the wrapper div, but we're not going to give it a class of page. We're just going to give it a class of wrapper. And in it, we will stick our footer. Actually, you know what we could do? Heck, let's just make it a footer with a class of wrapper, because that class is styled just as a class, not targeted to any particular tag. So we're going to give it a footer class equals wrapper to give us that centering technique, but we can apply other styles. And let's go take a look at what the wireframe looks like. Well, this is going to be easy because if you look at the graphic here, our footer lines up just like everything else. So 8 and 4 seem to be the right way to do this. We've got a copyright, other info, and there's some stylistic things that we can do later. Very easy, privacy policy, etc. These look like they're just links, and this is just some copyright information. So we just go back in our footer. We're going to give a class of row inside of the footer, and then we'll create our columns. Okay, I don't like the fact that it wants to do that. Let's zoom in at normal. There we go. So there we got our wrapper, we got our div, so we just need to add our content. So it just has some copyright info, some information like that. So we're going to just use a little lorem ipsum, and then I'll end with the copyright notification. Actually, we can even use the copyright sign, like so. We'll do a little, and I'll give you some of these little HTML entities. So you can put that on here. And just a little bit more of the lorem ipsum. I'm going to go to Filorama to get that, filorama.io. And I'll just put that down there. Oops, undo. Right here. Let's take a look at what it looks like at the bottom. There's part of the footer here. We'll do the other part on the other side next. And then we'll style it up. For that, looks like I said it's just a couple of links. We're just going to go to Bootstrap to take a look at it and find a simple nav that's horizontal. Under Bootstrap, it's under components. You'll see navs, nav bar. So you want to click here. We can just create a simple nav like this one here, tabs. And let's just put it in here, tidy it up. Looks a little bit more tidy. And then we'll just change the text on there to match. I'll just change it to FAQ, privacy policy. And I'm going to take, actually I'm going to move the FAQ down here and actually delete that list item, which removes the active. And so now you just see privacy policy FAQ, and it fits down here at the bottom. And so there's the HTML for the footer. And you can just take a look at it here. And then what remains at this point will be to just go in and add the styles for all the sections. We're going to save that for another tutorial. So we'll just end it at this point here. So this is how we do our footer.